Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show, training our horses and miniature cows in ranch versatility. Penning Rusty and Suzie, our bull and heifer. Roping Rusty with Morgan horse, Semi. Training Eve to drive cart. Training Eve to work over her haunches with a motor cow simulator. Training Eve to lay down. Training Eve to harness, pull a log. Training Semi to harness, pull a log on turf. Jumping at liberty to music, making our Morgan horses our partners. Training Eve on a cow roping simulator. Training on our driveway, which is covered by sand, so we have a straight track. Stepping over poles, jumping over crossbar jumps. Training in our trail obstacles area. Semi on the big steps. Morgan horse Sadie doing obstacles rainlessly. Sadie learns to pull a cart. Miniature Zebu heifer Suzie learns to drive a cart. Bull Rusty learns to pull a harrow. Part 4 of 8, Chronicle of Birth of Mini Zebu heifer Seela out of Mini Zebu heifer Suzie and by Mini Zebu bull Rusty. Part 1 shows the actual birth. It's been about 2 hours since Suzie first showed signs of giving birth. The birth itself took about 20 minutes. Now Seela is looking tired and resting. For a while I thought Suzie was trying to direct her to the nipples, but then she stopped. The afterbirth is still hanging there. I think about the same distance it was hanging an hour and a half ago. So we're watching, we're documenting, and we're going to show you what this whole process is all about. We've also tried to make this portion of the pen a little stronger. Stan, are you pretty sure that if Seela pushes against it, everything will stay? This is all until she gets a little bigger. And are we going to let Rusty in? Maybe not today. We'll let him nearby. He has shelter tonight. They have shelter tonight. We have lights and cameras into both shelters. We'll sure keep an eye on everything. Seela is shivering again. And as I thought would happen in mid-afternoon, the wind is coming up. And the shade of the tree is putting shade on Seela instead of sun. So now our decision. We brought down a beach towel. Should we move her? According to the vet's office, as long as she stays in sight of Suzie, it should be no problem to move Seela, and that likely Suzie will follow. What we want to do is move her behind me in this shelter here where there's a deep, maybe 3-inch bed of shavings, 3 walls insulated. Food for Suzie. But then they'd be farther away from Rusty, so maybe that's not a good idea. See how she's shivering, Stan?
Yeah, but it's okay. It's not that cold.
There goes Susie again, trying to drink. I never realized she was so little that she had to do that with her tongue. Can we make the float higher so that the water gets higher? If she would do it from this end, I think she'd be higher and there'd be no problem, but she hasn't figured that out today. I know, but you see she's not going for the water in the bucket. Hasn't figured it out that that's water too, and easier to drink, at least not this time. Ah, that's the way we can make the level higher. Then go get some more water from the hose. She comes back to Seela, who's resting. See, at what point do I, the grandma, try to imprint myself into this process? Or do I do it at all? I tried to do it with my horses. Do I want to do it with my mini cows? Another question I don't know the answer to. There's exudate coming out of Susie's vulva, almost like there's movement, something's going to happen there. Most definitely there's a thick exudate coming out. Kind of bloody looking. Do you see that thick exudate? You see right next to the...
It's a blood clot.
Yeah, Stan said maybe it's a blood clot right next to the afterbirth. Or maybe it means that things are moving on.
That's just the sac.
That's not the afterbirth?
Oh, maybe some of it is. That's the sac.
Well, isn't that what the afterbirth is all about?
Well, this afterbirth is the placenta. This is the sac.
Oh, this is the sac and not the placenta, Stan says. Or is that above the sac, the placenta?
It's attached still inside of her. It's got a slough from the inside of the uterus.
It still has to slough from inside of the uterus. Now, if it doesn't, what would a vet do, do you suppose?
I don't know.
Stan doesn't know the answer to that question. You know, ever since the sun got shaded, she's been shaking. And you know, Rusty wandered away, so I kind of feel this is the time to maybe pick her up, and according to Christine at Adobe.
No, in here it's even colder. Out there it's got partial sun and it's close to the sunny earth. I think it's warmer there.
All right, Stan thinks it's warm enough there, maybe even warmer there. Where'd Rusty go?
Grazing.
Oh, Rusty's grazing.
He's satisfied that there's no role for him right now.
It almost looks like Susie wants to lay down. Full. Assuming she is indeed a heifer, I've named her. Well, here comes Suzie into the cow pen. What will Seela do? This is the first time Suzie has wandered away from her calf. Seela doesn't seem stressed. She seemed content. Almost, I think she's sleeping. Suzie came back. Is that camera watching all of this? Good. So we are getting this in a DVD up at the house. That was the first time I've seen Suzie walk away from her calf. But the calf is shaking again, and I can't help but to worry about it. I'm worried that Susie's going to step on her. Maybe she's trying to get her to stand up and suckle. I'm going to move over here with my tripod. Trying to stay away, out of the way of the camera that's giving us a DVD of this whole process up at the house now. Do you think I'm out of the way? Yes.
How soon do they have to suckle for the immunoglobulins to get in? If there's only a certain time period.
I believe it's 10 hours. He's asking how long is the time period of getting the antibodies, and I believe it's 10 hours, and I'm not sure why I think that. I think I found that somewhere in the last few weeks when I was reading on Google about bovine birth. I'm just wondering if maybe just our presence is stopping the natural process. Stan doesn't think so. Nobody seems stressed by our presence, and we're not that close. still trying to think of a way in the next few days that I can make a little fly mask for Seela. Looking back at the clips, the video clips I've taken in the last couple weeks, my clue that there was a calf there was those hefty nipples and all of the substance in front of them and next to them. Even though I think the baby itself was up, way up inside. The body gave me some signs. As tempting as it is to try to pull out those bags that might tear what's yet inside. That's potentially very dangerous. Susie finally found the water in the pail. Susie is a very, very darling heifer. You can search on Urban Cowgirl channel with the name Susie or heifer or mini zebu or mini cattle, and you'll find a lot of programs how we've trained her and how easy she is to handle. There's still exudate dripping down the bags. Makes me think that something's happening within Susie that's going to push the rest of that afterbirth out. While this whole process is taking hours, and it may be somewhat boring to watch, to me it's thrilling. And I'll try to add some nice music as a background when I make a show or several shows out of this process. What is Susie thinking or instinctively trying to do? She hasn't come back here to eat her hay. She wandered off away from Sheila just once. Excuse me, Seela. It looked to me like she was trying to get her heifer to suckle, but perhaps gave up for the time being. Maybe nature says she's not ready, but I sure would like her to suckle. I knew that when my filly was born, the vet advised me to pick her up and put her by the nipples. Should I do that with Seela? What do you think, Stan? Stan is thinking that that might be a good idea. Oh, here comes Rusty. Here comes Rusty. He just went by that gate there. He pretty much will, I think, predictably show up here, which he is. There he is.
Go get her up on her feet.
All right, would you take the camera then? I'm gonna try using this beach towel. Hello, 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 Susie. Now, Susie might get aggressive. It's all right. It's all right. Susie's kind of snorting. Nope, she doesn't want me to do that. You agree? No.
Yeah.
There was body language that said, no, don't interfere. Okay, I'll just be patient, hope for nature to do the humane thing and the wise thing, and that is inspire Seela to go to the nipples for the colostrum.
Funny, the horses, the foals are struggling to stand up. In the beginning, they worked very hard to stand up. She was just laying there.
Oh no, but she struggled at first.
She did at first, but now she is.
Is she struggling to move like the fillies did when they were born, the equine fillies? Oh yeah, she did. It's almost like she's tired out from struggling to move with those spindly legs. This is Sonia Sokolow trying to reach Christine or a large animal vet with another couple questions. Yes. Okay, I'm calling the vet just to ask should I intervene or not? I just think nature's saying not to, and look, somehow Seela got up. For some reason, maybe Susie's saying, okay, it's time now to suckle. I sure hope so. To be continued in part 5. Our cast of characters: Sadie and Eve, Sammy, Demi, and Lotus, Rusty and Susie. www.thesokolows.com